feel it's moral authority to do so. What did you mean by that, especially given how this region faces its own climate dangers and its own challenges in decarbonizing?
It is one of the areas that will be more dramatically impacted by climate change.
Yes.
And it's not an area that is contributing decisively to climate change. So, as an area that is suffering more than many others because of the impacts of climate change, and will suffer even more if things go on as they are, this region has a huge moral authority to tell the polluters, stop.
Okay, one last short question. What can you met with some of the government officials during this trip. How can Singapore play a bigger part?
Now, Singapore plays an extremely important role in the United Nations. Singapore is one of the most active countries. Singapore decides our climate campaign. Singapore presides the Forum of Small States, and based on that, Singapore has been able to mobilize the majority of the countries. Small states, but each country one vote. The majority of the countries of the United Nations in order to make the United Nations a strong instrument to protect the planet and to create more equity and justice in the relations among countries.
Let's go ahead on Asia first. Singapore's Jerlyn Tan makes history at the Paralympics, clinching the country's first ever medal in boccia after a nail-biting match against host nation France.
Life on Hong Kong's outlying islands, far from the urban bustle, but tough on the elderly who live there. Providing medical help can be a challenge.
To have timely access to emergency care.
These services make sure help is not beyond reach. Wednesday on CNN.
Our idea is very simple. We selected 6 children and 6 seniors and matched them as new friends. Over the course of the 10 weeks, we want to see if these young children and seniors can really become good friends.
I love you.
Wow, so do I.
When you come together, you learn to respect each other for who they are.
It fosters a deeper understanding for the elderly and the children. This is teaching the younger generation to love the elderly.
It doesn't matter whether you're young or old, whether you are of different backgrounds, invaluable friendships can manifest in the most unlikely places.
This September, we shine a spotlight on stories of hope and resilience. In a world scarred by wars, the work of peacemakers has never been more important. Find out what it took to successfully negotiate some of the most historic peace deals in Asia. From glamour to grit, explore the untold stories of streaming sensations in Singapore, China, and Indonesia, and the pressures of staying in the spotlight in the secret lives of live streamers. Step into the world of pediatric palliative care in Singapore through the eyes of patients and their caregivers. Discover the emotions and challenges they face in Life Unexpected this September on CNA.
A bittersweet end to the Paralympic Games for Singapore's Geraldine Tan, who made history by bagging her country's first medal in boccia. The 35-year-old won silver in the women's final, missing out on the top prize by the narrowest of margins. Sabrina Ng reports from courtside in Paris.
A nail-biting final up to the last moments. And while she may not have brought home the gold, Geraldine Tan is already a champion in the hearts of Team Singapore supporters, cheering her on at the Paralympic Games in Paris.
Thanks for all the supporters to cheer me up, and also I did my work hard very fast already, but I will come back and go for it to fight again.
Tan entered the gold medal match against France's Aurélie Aubert, having already beaten her 6-1 in the group match. But the Singaporean found Aubert in great form and was behind 5 points to nothing by the halfway mark. Tan refused to be cowed, took the fight to Aubert and cut the deficit in the third end. Drama ensued in the fourth when Aubert gave up her remaining throws in a tactical move and regretted immediately as she had miscalculated the points. It gave Tan a chance to take the lead. But the final throw by the Singaporean agonized as she lost the game 5-4.
I hope she'll come back well, maybe stronger, yes, train harder, and I hope to actually inspire all our Boccia community.
With 2 gold medals from swimming and a silver medal clinched by Geraldine Tan in Boccia, this game has been Team Singapore's best showing at the Paralympics to date. Before this, in Rio 2016, Singapore had picked up 2 gold medals and a bronze medal. With this silver, Geraldine Tan has also written herself into the history books as the 4th Paralympian to achieve a podium finish in the nation's history. Sabrina Ng, CNA, Paris.
Singapore's Culture, Community and Youth Minister Edmund Tong says the nation's para-athletes will soon get dedicated training facilities and end-to-end sports science support as part of efforts to put them on equal footing with able athletes. Mr. Tong spoke to CNA's Sabrina Ng in an exclusive interview at the Paralympic Games in Paris. Have a listen.
A stellar showing from Team Singapore's para-athletes at this year's Paris Games.
It is already Singapore's best performance at the Paralympics ever, and we are looking forward to more. And I think this gives us a very strong foundation to push on from here, and we are very focused on making sure that those foundations continue to nurture good athletes, develop them, and bring them forward for Team Singapore at the future Paralympics and other disability sports.
This historic performance encouraged calls by the national body for para-athletes for equal recognition as what the Olympic peers receive. In response, Mr. Tong says he supports such a move, and plans are already in place for para-athletes to have a space they can call their own in Kallang, as Singapore redevelops the area to become a vibrant sports hub.
I think we have to look at both the Olympians and Paralympians, both able-bodied as well as disability sports athletes on the same footing. So the new plans that we've announced for Kallang, with dedicated training facilities, with full body, with end-to-end support from sports science as well as the academia, will also apply equally to disability sports.
Mr. Tong adds that the government is working alongside disability sports agencies in planning and designing the new home of Team Singapore for para-athletes. But beyond inclusive infrastructure, he stresses that more can be done to curate sports recreation programs for the disabled and develop training that caters to them.
Go further and look at programming, look at how we coach, look at how we train. Take an average, say, disability athlete who comes in for recreation. When they come into our facilities, there must also be a program for them. There must also be events that we can hold for them.
Ultimately, Mr. Tong says such efforts, when achieved, will help Singapore become a more inclusive place bit by bit. And that's not just in terms of physical accessibility. These will also help Singapore become a more socially accessible place that is inclusive of all needs. Sabrina Ng, CNA, Paris.
In the next hour on Asia First, Russian President Vladimir Putin is in the country that's illegally bound to arrest him for alleged war crimes.
President France is set to arrive in the world's most populous Muslim majority nation, Indonesia, a visit that's expected to be dominated by interfaith harmony.
And in business news, Cathay Pacific cancels multiple flights over the next couple of days.
And the world's most powerful nation, Indonesia. This long trek through Asia.
Clearly, Asia remains
Saturday on Japan Hour.
廃棄物に対してお金を出すっていう文化があんまなかったって聞いてたんですけど、うちとしては当然いいですチャンスで、
混ぜているのはなんと生ゴミから生まれた有機肥料です。年商80億円の共和卵。我々にすると宝物なんですよ。
Japan Hour, Saturday on CNA. Japan Hour is brought to you by Sumitomo Corporation. MUFG, committed to empowering a brighter future. Zip Air, summer fares are now available. And iChai. This is Asia First.
Hello, I'm Julie Yu. It's 9 a.m. here in Singapore. The headlines this hour. Benjamin Netanyahu defies pressure to strike a ceasefire for hostages deal, even as public anger reaches a boiling point in Israel. Tens of thousands press on with street-wide protests, joining an hours-long national strike that shuttered businesses and paralyzed transport, despite a labor court calling it illegal. Hamas warns more captives will be returned in coffins if the military continues with its raids.
I'm Arnold Gay. Urgent calls for truce as Israeli airstrikes continue in Gaza.
We need to stop the suffering of the people of Gaza. And the suffering that we have seen in Gaza, the level of death and destruction we have seen in Gaza is unprecedented in my mandate as Secretary General and any other part of the world.
The UN Chief Antonio Guterres laments the humanitarian crisis in the city country where more than 1,000 people are estimated to have been killed in the past 11 months. Speaking exclusively to CNN, he stresses the need for concessions from both warring sides.
Thousands stranded in southern India as heavy rains trigger floods, killing at least 25 people. Nowhere in the Philippines, tropical storm Yagi claimed at least 11 lives and disrupted schools and flights yesterday.
Also coming up, Indonesia prepares to host Pope Francis, who is set to touch down in just over 3 hours from now. He'll make a symbolic stop in Southeast Asia's largest mosque in Jakarta, one with a tunnel connected to the city's Catholic cathedral.
Two structures even have a tunnel connecting them.
and are often considered a testament to the moderate approach in this Muslim-majority country. I'm Elizabeth here with your business news. Hong Kong's flagship carrier Cathay Pacific cancels nearly 50 flights over the next couple of days. It's inspecting the entire fleet of its long-haul A350 jetliners after identifying an engine component failure on a Zurich-bound aircraft. And Elon Musk's X will remain blocked in a country where it has more than 200 million users. Brazil's Supreme Court panel upholds a ruling suspending the social media platform over its non-compliance with local laws. But first, Israeli Prime Minister